Hi, I'm Dyanne Schmitt. It's Team Chicago Challenge. We are at MotoBlot. It's Saturday, it's June, and it's raining, so it's kind of miserable. I've talked to a few people, looked at a couple motorcycles. Holy moly! Looked at some motorcycles, looked at a couple of the cars, but I don't know if the rain is going to let up. So to continue with this show, to show the whole show, and I've been coming, Larry Fletcher's been involved with putting this on, MotoBlot, and he's also been involved with Mods and Rockers when it used to be on Lincoln Avenue. They moved it up to Lawrence Avenue and Broadway. And I'm going to show some of the footage from some of the other events, and that's how we're going to explore MotoBlot for 2022. As I look west on Fulton Street on this rainy morning, this is where MotoBlot takes place. Thousands of motorcyclists gathering on the near west side of Chicago. But it's a little rainy right now. I bring back memories in 2013 when it was a little rainy, when Mods and Rockers became MotoBlot at Lawrence Avenue by Broadway, as we see the Million Dollar Quartet. In 2012, I was on Lincoln Avenue by Diversey for the Mods and Rockers. So I've been around for a long, long time with this organization, celebrating motorcycles in Chicago, as I spot this Royal Enfield Himalayan, and I had the opportunity to talk to the Midwest manager for Royal Enfield, Canney.
Patrick Canney with Royal Enfield, regional manager in the Midwest at MotoBlot today. We've got a few models here today to show off to the customers and people at MotoBlot. So we got our little setup here. I'm going to start going on through each model by when it was released. So right here we have our Himalayan, which is a 411 adventure bike. Is our best-selling bike here in the U.S. This bike's been out, like I said, since 2018. This is a 2022 model in pine green. Bike starts at $52.99 retail. This bike puts out about 24 horsepower, and the people love it. It wasn't originally supposed to come to the U.S., and we fought for it. It eventually came in 2018, and to this day, like I said, it's our best seller. So moving on to the next, I'll go over to the INT 650. This bike was launched here in 2019 in the U.S. It is originated back to the Interceptor back in the 60s, and now, as you can see, very much more refined, formed in a parallel twin. It puts out about 46 horsepower. This is our first interstate bike that comfortably people can go on and off the interstate and feel comfortable and safe, riding at speeds comfortably 70-80 miles an hour. This bike also comes in a GT. We don't have one here today, but it's our cafe style. Same motor, same chassis, just a different tank, seating, riding position, more forward with clip-on bars. This bike starts at $59.99. One thing I didn't mention is everything has a 3-year warranty with roadside assistance. So a very good factory backing for new customers coming into Royal Enfield and existing. Moving forward, we have the Meteor, which came out last year. This is called the Meteor 350. It is the cruising smaller bike that we have. Completely brand new motor, puts out about 22 horsepower, inner city bike, back roads, 0 to 65 all day long. This bike starts at $46.49. We have different colors, obviously, amongst all these models, which staggers the pricing. But this bike for beginners at MSF schools has been fantastic for us and our dealers. So new riders, existing riders that have bigger bikes, this is the bike for them, or they have 3-4 bikes in the garage. So
So how's your dealer network?
So our dealer network here in the Chicago area, local, we have Johnny Chef, obviously at Motoworks Chicago. We have Windy City Triumph over in St. Charles. To the north, even further north, Marengo, Rainy Cycle. And then to the south in Charleston, we have its own Motorsports. So we have 4 dealerships right now.
So Randy is,
yes.
I'm an old friend of Randy's.
Yeah. So, and then in the U.S. overall, we've got about 160 dealers right now. So we are in every state, generally in every major metropolitan area in the Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri. There's 16 dealers.
So if you're on the road, you're pretty good.
You're covered.
The dealer would be nearby.
Yeah. So, yeah, go to your local dealer.
Thank you, Pat. And I hope I can do something with Royal Enfield this year. Now we're looking at one of the Indian sport bikes that is based on their dirt track racer. Another one of their cruisers. An Indian motorcycle. Started building motorcycles in 1901. And we looked at the Indian board track racers from where we're at the National Motorcycle Museum in Anna Rosa, Iowa. But no one from Indian, none of the salespeople there wanted to talk to me about their bikes. They said, we have to talk to the advertising department, whatever that means, because if you go buy an Indian motorcycle and you walk in a dealer, doesn't the salesman tell you about the bikes? Don't know. Now we're looking at a few custom bikes. This group of custom motorcycles was put together by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance and Geico Insurance were involved with MotoBlot this year. You see this single cylinder, 2-stroke. It looks like a cafe racer, and right next to it, looking like a speedway bike, is another single cylinder motorcycle. And then I spot a bike I didn't even know existed. This is a Husqvarna 401 street bike, and I had a chance to talk to the owner, Jamie Sanchez.
My name's Jamie Sanchez. I live in Chicago. I rode in on my Husqvarna Spark Plug 401. It's a single cylinder scrambler. Pretty fun little city bike.
So is this something new? I mean,
it's a 2021.
Did it just come out in 2021, or has this been around?
2018 was probably the first year.
Yeah.
They're still making them.
But I never seen one of these. So this is a street only
I mean,
bike?
it's a scrambler. They make a more street focused one called the Vit Pillin. Mm-hmm. This is the Spark Pillin.
So the 4-stroke, single cylinder. Mm-hmm. It's a 401. Is that the size?
373.
Yeah.
Same as the Duke KTM Duke 390.
And where'd you pick this up at?
Hall Cycle in Springfield, Illinois.
Okay. So tell me about it. You like it? Good bike?
Yeah, I mean, it's been super fun. It's perfect for the city, and I've taken it long distance even, and it's been awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you, Jamie. That is a great looking bike. And now we're going back to 2012. We're on Lincoln Avenue. In fact, we're sitting in front of the Republican headquarters on Lincoln Avenue back then. Delilah's is right across the street. This is Mods and Rockers, scooters and motorcycles, gathering a great number of beautiful British motorcycles, a great number of Triumph motorcycles, Bonnevilles, 3-cylinders, many twins, and I had the opportunity to talk to Johnny Chef and the late great, my dear friend, Jim Viverito.
Here at Motoworks Chicago, representing Triumph Motorcycles America and the shop. We sell Triumphs, we sell some Vespas too, and some Ducatis, but we're here.
So where are you guys at?
We're at 1901 Southwestern Avenue, west side of Pilsen, Chicago, and we love what we do, and we have fun doing it.
Hi, my name is Jim Viverito, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. We're at the 8th Annual Mods vs. Rockers Motorcycle Show and Festival on Lincoln Avenue at Diversity, headquarters at Delilah. We're having a great time with all kinds of motorcycles and scooters, and we're recreating the riots between the mods and the rockers in England back in the late 60s. So there's some really beautiful motorcycles here, and the Ton Up Club is proud to present this along with Steel Toe Press, which is the promoter, and our friend Larry Fletcher, and we're just having a great time. All kinds of different kind of motorcycles and motorcycle people. I was with the famous drag racer T.C. Christensen last weekend, and like he said, motorcycle racers are easy to talk to because they're motorcycle people and they love being around other motorcycle people, and that's what Mods vs. Rockers is all about too. So next year, the Saturday before Father's Day, watch for it. The 9th annual Mods vs. Rockers will be happening. So thanks, Dan, for covering the event, and we look forward to seeing you down the road.
Godspeed, Jim, as you ride into eternity, where every road is smooth and every day is sunny. And now we're on Lawrence Avenue by Broadway. Mods and Rockers have been moved to a new location under the leadership of Larry Fletcher. We're looking at a 1947 BSA single, a very lovely motorcycle. And we spot the signage for the Ace Cafe. Now in London, the Rockers with their British motorcycles hung out at the Ace Cafe. They raced from that location, the London Bridge and back. That's how they became part of the Ton Up Club, meaning they did it riding at 100 miles per hour. We spot two lovely BMWs. The first one was a 1957 500 twin, and this one here is a 2008 HP2 Sport. Hot rods were added this year, as we see a 49 Merc, a Dodge pickup truck, and a 34 Ford Rat Rod. And now we're going to hear the gal who sings with the Million Dollar Quartet do a number by Peggy Lee.
Never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, 'cause I know I'm gonna treat you right. Give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Captain Schmitt and Fulton had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, "Daddy, oh don't you dare, gives me fever." When his kisses, fever when he holds me tight, fever. Eyes misses, Daddy, won't you treat me right? Now you listen to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever. Be it fair and out of centigrade, we give you fever. When we kiss you, fever, if you live and learn, fever. Jesus, what a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn.
And now we're moving to Fulton Street. That Dyanne character was based on Marilyn Evans, who was Elvis Presley's girlfriend at that time and she was in that jam session December 4th, 1956. So we're checking out the motorcycles on Fulton Street, 2014. You see some pretty Triumph motorcycles. Again, British motorcycles do dominate MotoBlot, and MotoBlot in 2014 included great looking cars. And now we're going to talk to the promoter, Larry Fletcher.
Hey, I'm Larry Fletcher from MotoBlot. Previously the event was called Mods vs. Rockers Chicago, but we actually killed that event because we didn't have any more mods, so we created this new event called MotoBlot, which is basically a motorhead rally. Anything with a motor in it, motorcycles, hot rods, but basically around vintage culture, vintage hot rods, pinup girls. So this is MotoBlot 1. It's been a monster success. We're really excited about the future of MotoBlot, and I'm working for Triumph Motorcycles these days, and they're the title sponsor along with Castrol. And we also had big support from Magic Hat Brewery and Icon 1000. Number of great vendors and sponsors this year that have helped made this our biggest show yet. We got thousands of bikes here on Fulton Street, and a really good show.
Well, you found this new location, and you know this is coming up in Chicago. You're 2 miles from Sears Tower,
right?
Or you're 2 miles from Hancock.
Yeah.
It's almost a great location.
Yeah, this
it's sort of a vintage area also.
Yeah,
you
yep.
still got some cobblestone streets. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, this is a dream area. I mean, we kind of hooked up with Cobra Lounge, which is in this very industrial River West neighborhood, and these are all factories around here and industrial buildings, and there's nobody here on the weekends, so we can make as much noise as we want, not have any complaints. So, and we're making a lot of noise, so people are having a great time. We got great music and great people, great food. It's turned into a full-on street fair, street festival.
So tell me your website. How do we find out about next year?
www.motoblot.com, and like I said, I hope you're here for MotoBlot 2, because MotoBlot 1 is for the ages, so come on down.
Thank you, Larry. That was 2014, the first year on Fulton Street for MotoBlot, as we spot a couple Norton motorcycles, great looking bikes. This one's got a nice polished aluminum gas tank, cafe seat. And now in 2022, I spot this 1959 Lotus Race Car. And we had the opportunity to talk to the owner, Mark Fisher.
Good morning, my name's Mark Fisher, and this is my 1959 Lotus 15 replica. It's scratch built, based on the 1959 Lotus that was in the Le Mans World Racing Championships. And it's got a 2-liter Cosworth engine, and everything below the belt line is steel and aluminum. Everything above the belt line is fiberglass. It took me 10 years to put it together, and I've got it licensed for the street.
So what does a project like this end up costing? Do you save money when you build it yourself?
The way I look at it, the big difference is if you buy a 911 and it costs you $80,000 and you crash at year 3, you still owe every month on that payment. If you lose your job, you got to give the car back. When you build it yourself and you put away a little bit of money, you buy the parts and then you work on it. If you run out of money, you plan. By the time you're done building it, you own it. And so no matter what happens, you have kids, life takes you a different direction, you still have the car. So that was my philosophy.
So what's the performance on this? I mean, is it...
So it weighs 1,500 pounds, and it's got about 230 horse at the crankshaft. So it goes pretty good. You know, unfortunately, by the time you put me in the driver's seat, it gets quite a bit heavier. But it's very quick. It's not fast in terms of top speed because of the rear gear, but it's very, very quick off the line.
It's beautiful.
It'll cruise down the road at 75, but it's happiest, you know, around town.
Right. But it's a beautiful piece. I mean, and you built it to your size.
I did. It's 8
bigger.
inches longer than an original, and it's 3 inches wider.
Right, right.
Because Brits tend to be little guys. Yeah. But it was a fun project, and I'll probably always have it.
Thank you, Mark, for that inspirational story about building a beautiful race car. And now we're looking at a 58 Chevy Custom with a heart-shaped steering wheel. And they call this car the Bird Feeder, whatever that may mean. Now we're looking at a pretty BSA. This looks like a 1967, 68 BSA 650, and we look down Fulton Street. It's still drizzling, but it's going to be a wonderful day at MotoBlot. And as we see some Norton motorcycles, we're going to talk to Clyde Zaluzniak.
Hi, my name is Clyde Zaluzniak. I'm with the Chicago Norton Owners Club, and we're here at MotoBlot 2022 representing our club. We got 5 or 6 nice Nortons here. Unfortunately, they're all being washed right now. We got an oil slick in front of the display because they drip a little bit of oil. But I mostly like to talk our August 14th, 30th anniversary motorcycle show that we have for antique motorcycles at MCC. Again, August 14th. I encourage you guys, if you've got a bike 25 years or older, to bring it and put it in the show. We have a really good turnout. We've been averaging around 70 motorcycles. We'd like to get that up to about 100, and I'd like to see you guys there. The show is at MCC Motorcycle Center. It's in Villa Park, right on St. Charles Road, just a hair west of Route 83. We've got a food vendor. Admission for spectators is free, and there's a small charge to show your bike. Scooters, Japanese, you name it, Harley Davidson, Indian, we'd love to see your bikes in the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in August, the 14th at MCC. Thank you.
Thank you, Clyde. And I will be at the show at MCC on August 14th. And now we're looking at a BSA. I believe this is a 1971 when they painted the frame silver. At that time, I didn't really like the looks of that bike, but now in retrospect, it looks pretty sharp. And now we're looking at Clyde's Norton. This is a bike that was built in 72 or beyond because it has a disc brake in front. It's probably an 850 Commando. And now we're looking at a Norton Fastback. You can tell that by the seat and the tanks combination. It was built before 72 because it's got a drum brake in front. This next Norton also looks like a fastback because of the seat combination. It's got a drum brake in front. But after 1967, all these Nortons had the isoelastic frame, and that replaced the featherbed frame. This Norton here has got a disc brake in front. Lovely motorcycles from the Chicago Norton Owners Club. And now we're going to wrap up the show with some more music. 2013 Mods and Rockers, first MotoBlot, the Million Dollar Quartet. looks like I've been covering these events for nearly 15 years now. For more information on MotoBlot, their website is motoblot.com. Million Dollar Quartet, where they are playing, information, milliondollarquartet.net. To contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. Remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dyanne Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana 39. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles.